Everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I wanted to be dramatic today. My good friend Kamisha Reviews sent me this video intro and I love it. And I'm going to use it every time that I record. I think it's amazing. Kamisha is really teaching me a lot of technical stuff on StreamYard to really help me build my channel, make it better. So shout out to you, Kamisha. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you creating that intro for me. And I appreciate you getting on a share screen and showing me how to put it up here. So anyway, we're here for Ready to Love, ready to work my last nerve, ready to play on television. I want to say this about the show really quickly. When this show first came out, I felt like it was needed because I felt like, on regular dating shows, I love a dating show like Love is Blind and Love Island, all of that stuff. It's not enough chocolate for me. So this is a dating show for us. Hey, Andrew. And it's still a womp womp. Like, I root for Black love. I root for love, period. I don't love who you love. Love who you want to love. I don't care. I root for love and I do enjoy a good dating show, but at least make it convincing. Like, at least on Love Island, you get $100,000. Love is Blind, you get the option to turn people down at the altar or not. All these dating shows, it seems to be a prize where you at least get something out of it. And Ready to Love, I guess you just get an opportunity to be on Oprah Winfrey's network. Maybe get some followers up. I don't know. I, I don't see anybody falling in love this season. There's one couple that I really hope can find a way to stick it out, and that's Cynthia and Anthony. Like, they're the only people that I feel are truly genuine to this process. Everyone else wants to be on television. And I'm going to tell you this, if your goal is just to be on television, entertain me. Entertain me. I should not be scrolling through TikTok watching y'all pretending to be in love. If you're going to pretend, if you're going to put on a good show, be entertaining. But let's get into it. Excuse me if I take a little sip. I got this I'm always promoting people and I don't get anything in return. But I was rolling through Sam's Club the other day and I usually get Snapple Apple. It's the 18 pack. Snapple Apple is my favorite, but they had Snapple lemonades and this is strawberry pineapple. So I bought a new case and I'm trying out new flavors and I'm thirsty. Excuse me. It's good though. The Snapple lemonade is good. And I think Snapple is problematic. I can't remember from back in the day. Don't jump in my comments. I'm thirsty and it's good. Hey, I caught a live, just finished watching the show too. Hey, Bria. Let's get into it. So we open up with the cliffhanger. Who going home? Jeffrey, Corvea, Marcia. If I get somebody name wrong, forgive me. But you need to entertain me so I can at least try to remember your name. So Corvea goes home. And you remember last week when Tony was like, you need to think before you speak? I wanted her to go home anyway, because who you talking to? Tony, your children at home, correct? So who are you talking to? Whatever, Corvea, you know what, no man there for you. And I'm not mad at it. Corvea has high standards and she ain't for the BS. So sorry to see you go, Corvea. At least Corvea, there go the dog. At least Corvea was entertaining me. So I'm sorry to see you go. I liked Corvea. Up next, Tommy say it's the after party. Now, the first thing somebody like me, a mess, was looking for is, Blake. I'm a mess. I ain't even had a sip of alcohol today. Get it together, Angie. Blake gave Suzanne a bracelet, a nice, beautiful silver diamond bracelet last week. Your girl Angie was looking for the bracelet. I was like, Suzanne, where's your jewelry? Did he just give this to you and ask for it back? Did production give that to him? Because I said last week that bracelet, was it fake? And did it start to turn your wrist green early? I don't know. I don't know. But I was like, a bracelet for the little bit of tea that you gave him, which I 100% believe he said to Jeffree. I believe it. Where was the bracelet? So I'm now calling, I don't think it's politically correct to say it now that I think about it. I said it on Kamisha's live and I was a little bit turned on the live. So I'm not going to say it again now that I'm sober. I don't think what I said was a correct statement. So I believe he took the bracelet back. Or maybe it was always her bracelet. And this is something they done put up to bring us the BS. Anyway, moving on. Ain't nothing really happened at the after party. A little bit of dancing. Cute. Let's move on to these dates. They're going out on dates. It's the women's turn to evict somebody from the show. The only date I cared about was Cynthia and Anthony. I like when people have conversations and I could feel the vibe. And it's not, am I in your top? Am I in your bottom? Can you see me in your top one day? Do you think one day we might kiss? One day, do you think you might want some more children? You know, it doesn't sound like a job interview. It sounds like a natural conversation of two people who might be connecting. I look at Anthony and I pray that's his name. He's the male nurse practitioner. I hope I'm saying his name correct. He gives me good guy vibes. He gives me, yes, I'm ready because I believe he's in his 30s. I'm ready to have a family. I'm ready to get married. I would like to have a baby one day. Or, you know, I'm not, he gives me, and we can't judge books by the cover, but he gives me faithful. He gives me, I don't want to play games. He gives me, I will accept your children as my own if we get together because Cynthia has children. I just get a vibe from Anthony and I get a vibe from Cynthia that she's really here to find love. Cynthia is banging. She probably has a perfect body, beautiful face, just a gorgeous woman. So you would think a lady like Cynthia, who you would say is a gorgeous woman, doesn't need to be on TV to find love. Whatever might have happened in her life, maybe she sees this as an opportunity. But she gives me genuine, she gives me sincere, and I don't want her to come on the show and be heartbroken because she done found a man on the show that wants to play games. So I like Cynthia and Anthony, and right now, if it ain't Cynthia and Anthony, I don't care. I really don't care. I could fast forward. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to name myself. I'm the fast forward queen. The fast forward queen. If it's some BS on my TV, be gone. I'm going to be the fast forward queen. Yes, that's going to be my new name. Okay. So I didn't fast forward because, you know, I'm on the review panel for Kamisha Reviews, and I really wanted to be on the panel with Kamisha because I just like talking on the show about the show with other people and hearing other people's point of view. But nevertheless, I said all that to say that's why I watched the show and ain't fast forward. So let's get to this group date. Question number 1 with the group dates. Who picks the couples? Is production putting these people together, or did Marcia really sit back and say, hey, Jeffree, my girl, and I want to really get to know Blake and Blue was on the date, not Tony. I might get them confused. This seems like a production put together scenario because, you know, Blake and Jeffree don't fool with each other. It's drama when the two of them come together. So who would ever put that group date together? Now, they had a group dates, the meditation, cool, whatever. I don't care about what they did at the group date. Let's get to the drama. At the end of the day, Marcia brings up, what's the tension in the room? what's your issue with Jeffrey Blake? And Blake gets to humming and fumbling over his words. I don't know. I don't want to say, there's too many people in here. I don't want to get caught in a lie, so I'm just not gonna say where I'm at. Blake gets to fumbling his words, and then Jeffrey let it be known. Look, the problem ain't over here. He the one over there that can't say why he mad. He the one who feelings hurt because I don't want him. That's really what Jeffrey needs to be checking him every time he fumbles over his words. You know what? You know what? You know what? I just thought of something. And mind you, people are different. People handle conflict different. But if it was a girl like me, and every time this man get around me fumbling, acting like I hurt his feelings and did something to him, I'm not playing well, if you can't say what I did, I'm not playing that game with you. Every time I see Blake, you just mad because I don't want you. You just mad because I date other people in this process and don't want to date exclusively you. I would be checking Blake every opportunity I got because, see, look, Marcia knows what was said because she was in the ladies' lounge. All the ladies know what was said. Blake sitting over here playing dumb like the ladies weren't in the ladies' lounge. And now that I think about it, I really don't know who said what. For all I know, Blake and Jeffrey could be the couple because, this is allegedly the word on the Twitter curb is there's a couple in the process that's faking to be on TV, but they really dating in real life. I keep thinking it's Blake and Suzanne, but it really could be Blake and Jeffrey. And that's why Blake took Suzanne's bracelet back because he really dating Jeffrey and they just sitting up here playing in our face. I'm over Blake and I'm over Jeffrey. Now, I like Jeffrey. I really do. But just check his... I'm in the process of trying not to curse in my videos. I'm doing really good. But Jeffrey, I would be calling Blake out every opportunity he came in my face with the BS. He don't know what's going on. Like, look, Marcia, no, you said you wanted me and you wanted me on lock and I didn't want to be on lock with you. And then catch him up in a lie. Say what the issue is and then see what he says after that. Both of these, Todd done got these two together and came up on Oprah's channel to bring us the BS. And I'm over it. Now, who else dated? Tony and Morgan went on a date. Look, if there was a guy on the show whose vibe I would gravitate to, though Tony isn't physically what I would go for, I like his energy. I also like his profession. We in the same profession. If his profession on the screen is true, people be writing whatever they want on that little screen. But something about Morgan gives me, if you ain't chasing me, I don't want you vibe. Like, I feel like that's why Morgan has never, because these Morgan's words, she says she's never been in love, never really been in a real relationship. Those are her words. I feel like you've never really experienced that because when a man isn't chasing you, you lose interest. And one thing I can say from, I got my ring on today. From being a married woman, that chase, that's not sustainable. It's cute in the beginning, in the first few months, a man pining over you and making you feel like you're the only, you should still feel like you're the only one, but I'm saying the chase aspect, like somebody chasing you. Like eventually you have to choose to exclusively be with that person, and then the chase is over. You have to find other ways to spice up that feeling of being chased in your relationship. It's not sustainable because people got to work. You put some kids in there, you got kids. Throw in a business in there, you got a business. It's life, and people in life don't have time every day to chase you. Now, you are in the very beginnings of the dating processes, but you're also on a show which requires alliances to stay on the show. And by alliances, I mean it requires for the person that you choose your top as your top connection to BS in a few other people's face so they can still get the votes to stay on the show. Because if you eliminate the potential of others, people will be like, well, ain't no connection there. They can go. So it's like this show is a double-edged sword because you're playing the game of finding love, but you also playing the game of I still need to be in other people's face to stay on the show to be with the one I want to love. They need to maybe rethink the structure of this show. I ain't no producer, I don't know, but Morgan, you're going to constantly be in this back and forth game with Tony. If your requirement is for him to chase you and no one else, you're going to get Tony voted off the show. And just like Corvea and whatever the child name that got voted off this week, y'all gonna find yourselves at home. And if it was real, y'all got each other's number. Why y'all ain't dating right now? If it was so real. But anyway, let's move on. But that's my notes for you, Morgan. You got to let up a little bit. And you also have to date around if you want to stay on the show. Like, you can't move on from Morgan because it's a headache. It's a headache. But I like Tony. It's very clear that Tony and Morgan are each other's tops. Tony is playing around with Janique and Marcia for votes. And that's what I don't like about this show. Because Janique and Marcia think they're making connections, but no, you're just making phone calls and little appearances so you can vote. But Marcia and Janique, to me, are probably the next to go, if not Jeffrey. But I think production is saving Jeffrey and Blake for whatever. I think production know they in a relationship. I'm kind of over it. Now, all of this is allegedly. All of this isn't allegedly. I agree. Now, Blake goes out on a date with Janique. Who arranged this? Because on the date, it's very, very clear. Blake don't give a damn. See, I didn't say the curse word, but that wasn't a bad one. Blake doesn't give a damn about Janique. He's sitting up here like, yeah, he's answering all of her questions. And she's like, do you have any questions for me? No, I pretty much done judged who you are and I don't want you. That's really what he was saying to her. Because she answered one question, like, what does she like to do? She was like, I like to turn up with my friends on the weekend. I'm not mad at that if that's what you like to do. I like to do that too. Now, I don't do it every weekend, but that's a like. Now, Janique, am I saying your name wrong? I kind of like saying her name like Janae, you know, that group back in the 90s, Janae. I don't think her name is Janique, but I like saying it like that. So no disrespect, girl. Point, a little bit of advice. If I don't think she was serious about Blake, so I ain't gonna take too much on it. But if it's someone you're serious about, you might not want to lead with your turn up as your top enjoyment of recreation. If that person, if you don't have that vibe that they're a turn up person as well, that could be a turn off for some men because in their mind, they're thinking, oh, you just want to get drunk every weekend with your girlfriends. You could have just said, I like to socialize. I like to go out and listen to music. I like to go to concerts. You know, something that doesn't make you seem like you passed out every weekend at the Sunday brunch party. You know, little bit of advice. Like that probably shouldn't have been what you said, but it probably was the truth. And ain't nothing wrong with the truth. But moving on, did anybody else date? Because I don't care. Anybody else dated? I don't care. Oh, is it Demario and Jeffrey? The disrespect of this conversation. Demario is upset that Jeffrey kissed Mark Anthony during the Truth or Dare game that they were playing on the boat. Now, I don't recall who was asked the question, but my mind, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is telling me that the question was asked to Mark Anthony for him to kiss the person he has the top connection with. And Mark Anthony walked over and kissed Jeffree. Now, if it was vice versa, who cares? Who cares? But look, the way I feel about Corvea is the exact same way I feel about Jeffree. Like, I like their personalities. Some people think they messy. I don't care. But I also feel like Jeffree does not have a man on this show. Now, I ain't gonna put the spoiler up. I'm not gonna say the spoiler. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. All you gotta do is go on Instagram and Twitter and you can find it for yourself. But based on what I've seen so far, I don't see a connection for Jeffree on this show. But we'll see how they play in our face later. So Demario is all upset. You kissed him. And if you look at the kiss, the way Jeffree kissed Mark Anthony, it was only a peck. And if you look, she quickly pulled her face back as it seemed like he was trying to go in for more. Jeffree was the one who pulled back. She didn't really want to kiss that man. But anyway, for Demario to be so, I'm going to use the word I said on Twitter, and I don't care, Demario, get in my YouTube comments if you want to. Jealous. Because there's no other word. If you are a man who was so wrapped up in Corvea, so wrapped up in needing to use this save because you have this connection with Corvea and she cannot go home. If that was your main concern, you wouldn't give a damn who or what Jeffree is doing. Because Corvea is the one, right? So you were jealous. And he tweeting and retweeting me talking about he wasn't jealous. That was the edit and whatever. Who cares? Who cares? A man who is not jealous or any kind of way upset about who another woman is kissing ain't gonna come to a lunch checking them like that and not gonna be all in, because you talking about what your kids gonna think. Once you bring somebody kids in there, it's under the belt. And you only go under the belt for people you have feelings for, and the feeling is jealousy. Jeffree handled that correctly, because sometimes, and it's something I have to work on, and I think I am working on it, but when you come at me with something under the belt, immediately my mind flips to cussing your ass out. Jeffree didn't do that. She said, my kids would be happy that I'm kissing somebody that I'm trying to get to know. Yes. I didn't like that. And I also didn't like in the confessional, he was all in the confessional talking about, I ain't even seen her without her makeup off yet, so I don't know. Sir, we see your natural face, and you shouldn't be talking about looks. That's all I'm going to say. Now, you beautiful to somebody. Just not nobody I know. But anyway, moving on. The ladies get to the ladies' lounge. They get their tops and bottoms. Who care? Jeffree and Suzanne. Is it a throuple? I think Blake, Jeffree, and Suzanne are all in on this joke. But Suzanne says something about somebody, and Jeffree is like, you always all up in my business, worried about who I'm dating and who in my top and who in my bottom. Because I think this week she was over Demario. Is that his name? Because she told all the ladies what he said and did on the date, and it was disrespect. And ain't nobody else there care about Demario, so Demario went home. Now, it was between Demario and Blake. Preferably, I would have just, I'm ready for Blake to go. Who is Blake connected with but Suzanne? That whole little love triangle can go. Blake, Suzanne, and Jeffree. Because the only thing they're going to give is this same drama, and I'm over it. Like, we've heard y'all argue about this. It was cute last week. It was a little cute this week. By next week, it's going to be a fast forward. So let's go ahead and get them out the house and see what else people want to do to play in my face. I don't see any other connections. Get in the comments and let me know if you see any other connections outside of Cynthia and Anthony. I don't see it for anybody else. Anybody else, I'm going to think you're faking it to get to the end. And like my YouTube friend Ebby says, Ebby reviews, it ain't no prize at the end. So what are we faking it for? We're not splitting the check. Oprah, you can't even get these people a cruise. Get with your good friend, because you know all the billionaires are good friends. Get with your good friend who got the new Virgin Voyage adults only cruises, and at least let them get a little 3 to 5 day cruise at the end of this. The top 3 couples, if you make it to the end, you get to get on your homeboy's ship and go on a little 3 day cruise. Something, because I don't understand why people playing themselves. Because I'm just going by the history of these reunions. The ladies get up here and fuss and fight over these men. And when the reunion comes around, the man done got a whole nother girlfriend at the house, done put a note on the door, got a baby they ain't never heard of. They done talking to some other people from the show. The women get on here and play themselves for nothing. And I'll be tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it. But anyway, that's all I have to give. Up next, in 2 minutes, I'm getting ready to do a 5-minute review of RuPaul's Drag Race, because I'm almost over Drag Race as much as I'm over Ready to Love. At 6 o'clock, if you don't know, it's Kitchen Table Talk. It's every Sunday night at 6. Beans is back, so we're going to have a good time at Kitchen Table Talk. And then this Sunday, Kamisha Reviews panel for Real Housewives of Potomac is at 8:45. We're going directly after the episode and watch what happens live and doing the review directly after. That's going to be hard for me because, you know, I like to fast forward, and Kamisha only giving me 15 minutes of fast forward wiggle room. But anyway, the panel going to be lit. We're going to have a good time. So I will see you all later on tonight. You will find me on YouTube doing something. So until the next one, I'll see y'all later. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.